I gave people all the stuff they really needed. Social security checks, utility bills, TV guide.
I want a TV guidance counselor. TV guidance counselor. Staying up to watch all night, and everything's gonna be alright with my TV guidance counselor.
Hello, welcome to TV Guidance Counselor. I am Ken Reed, as always, your TV Guidance Counselor. This is the show, TV Guidance Counselor, where each and every week I welcome an interesting person to the show to discuss classic television using a TV Guide magazine for my personal collection as the inspiration for our conversation. Week 2, December. We're almost done with 2025, thank Christ for that. Although hopefully I won't get punished in 2026 for thinking this was bad the same way we did in 2016. Anyway, that's a whole existential discussion that I can have on our year in review show in 2 weeks. If you have questions you would like me to answer, listener questions, you can email me at tvguidancecounselor@gmail.com or ken@icanread.com. Or if you're over on the Patreon, patreon.com/TV Guidance Counselor, it's as little as $1 a month. You can ask me questions there. And if you're a patron for $5 or more a month, and I know times are tough and it's the holidays, but if for some reason you have that extra $5, you would get a PDF of this week's episode's TV guide. I had to think about that for a minute there. My guest this week is Ben Katzner. Back in this fall, I was going to say spring. Back in the fall, he put out a comedy album and special called Supple Harlot on Blonde Medicine. Super funny guy, awesome dude. I really love talking to him. You will really enjoy this episode. Check out all his stuff. I will put links in the show description. I'm doing a show description this week. I've been so strung out with work and a billion other things. Again, we can discuss it in the 2025 year in review. I haven't had a chance to do show notes. Again, I do this all myself. There are AI things that do it, and every single one of them is garbage, but that's a separate discussion. Anyway, so I put all Ben's stuff in there, or you can just also Google Ben Katzner and Supple Harlot. I trust you that you figured that out. But anyway, it's a fun episode. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy this week's episode of TV Guidance Counselor with my guest, Ben Katzner.
TV is my friend, and it has been always there for me in time of need.
Live via satellite from Minneapolis. Ben, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. This is so fun.
Thanks for doing it. The listener does not know we just chatted for about 45 minutes about seltzers,
Yeah.
and it was fantastic.
I wasn't sure if you wanted that on pod or not, so I decided to put it off. But yeah, we're very into seltzers, people.
That's like, that's the sexy stuff for the patrons. Yeah, I've thought of like the two things that I'm very passionate about that I could do a podcast about and kind of want to are seltzer. I mean, Polar's the best.
Sure.
Seltzers and scented candles. But a friend of mine does a scented candle podcast. And for some reason, I just love them.
That's also like a good album title. Seltzer and Scented Candles. That's not bad.
It's all about the scent.
That sets a mood. There's a vibe there. There's a mood to
Yeah.
that. I like that.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I'm going to have to write a record note just around that. Yeah, I can't drink, like if I have a soda like once a week now. I'll have a Pepsi with pizza on Friday.
Sure.
But like generally soda, I'm like, oh, this is way too sweet.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it helped me. I used to do a lot of like Gatorade and Powerade, and now it's like, which is hilarious because like I was not doing anything that called for that. But then I was like, okay, like how can I get something that tastes okay but isn't going to rot me from the inside out, from what I know at least. And seltzers just hit that right spot. But not everyone believes in seltzer like us. There are people who are very anti-seltzer.
They're wrong. Those people are wrong.
I had a job in New York, and there was one day basically like the boss of everybody put out like this anti-seltzer propaganda, I'm going to say, where it was like, this stuff is bad for you. Here's why, da, 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 da. And I was like, do I want to risk it all for seltzer right now? Because this is
Am I
crazy.
quitting right now?
I was like, I don't want to work for our morals are not aligned. Our values do not coincide with one another. So I don't know if I can work here anymore.
There's two kinds of people. There's those of us that love seltzer and everyone who's wrong.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
There's I don't know if you've been out to LA a ton, but there's a place called Galco's Soda Stop.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar.
Okay.
It's this guy inherited this like small supermarket from his parents. I mean, he's like in his 60s now, and he converted it to only sell cane sugar sodas and like artisanal seltzers and like sub sandwiches.
I'm writing this down. Galco's.
It's amazing. Yeah, Galco's, I think it's called Galco's Old World Market is officially the name. But so he's got like hundreds and hundreds of different kinds of like really hard to find sodas from all over the world. And like, it's always like my first stop when I go to LA. I like stock up for like, but I went in there one day and he's like, "You like seltzer, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah, you got to try this. It's the first time I've been trying to get this forever." I can't remember the name of it, but he goes, it's got a thing called pinpoint carbonation. And I'm like, what is this?
Sounds made up, but I love it.
It was amazing. It was like velvet. It was almost like a nitro. I've never had anything like it. It was so good. It was like this smooth, you know how like a good cold polar is kind of sharp.
Right.
Which I like.
Hurts you a little bit.
Like,
yeah.
This was like velvety. Oh, it's so nice.
Oh, wow. You're blowing my mind. This is not what I expected to be talking about today. This is incredible. I'm so happy.
It never is. So I see you got Tim Allen on your shirt.
I do have a
Midwest,
little,
pride, the cocaine bust Tim Allen.
Yeah, this is the version of him I like. This new Tim Allen that hates he hates woke culture and all this stuff or whatever. No, this is my guy. The guy who sold out his friends to get a TV show, essentially. That's my boy right there.
You would think a guy who sold coke would be all about woke. Because he's not sleeping.
Bare minimum, I feel like he should be like a libertarian or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Also, great joke. Sorry, I just got it right now.
Quite all right.
You're 100% correct. He was the most woke on that road trip where he was trafficking cocaine. But yeah, I just feel like he's so like conservative, whatever. And it's like, bro, you went to jail and got a TV show. Like, you won. Like, why are you mad at anything? You're okay.
You're very wealthy and a mediocre comedian, and that's all after prison.
That's right. Unless this is in Detroit.
No complaints.
If this is airing in Detroit, we love him. Michigan, we love him. Don't come after us. This is fine.
Are they big on Tim Allen? From there.
They love Tim Allen.
I love Detroit every time I've gone there, and I'm always like, okay, they have to hate Tim Allen and Kid Rock, right?
I don't.
It's like their Marky Mark.
Probably Kid Rock. I think everybody at this point hates Kid Rock, but I feel like Tim Allen's so Kid Rock is their Marky Mark. Tim Allen is their Prince. You know what I mean? Like they're like,
Detroit. Imagine that. You're like, man, I love Prince. It's like, sorry, we're out.
Yeah.
Here's Tim Allen.
I mean, Purple Rain is the same as It's the same thing.
Same thing.
So I get it actually.
Home Improvement season 3 is his 17 days. Yeah, wow. I had a guy on a couple weeks ago who he basically invented the job of like audience warm up on sitcoms.
Oh, cool.
And he did every single show like ever, from like Taxi to the Jay Leno Tonight Show. And he did Home Improvement, and he got fired the second day because Tim Allen was furious that he got too many laughs.
I can see that.
I'm like, perfect insecure stand-up. That's a stand-up.
Of course,
friends.
absolutely. Why wouldn't? Yeah, he's like, I could just do it myself. We're paying this guy. I don't even care.
Well, it's Tim Allen's huge show that's popular, and he's like, I gotta follow this asshole.
Yeah,
he's showing me up. I'm headlining. It's like, that's not how it works.
Because you know how many people laugh. They're like, the show was funny, but I really like the warm-up guy. That was actually
he had a sitcom.
Yeah,
maybe not even a sitcom. This sitcom, they could just replace Tim Allen with him. So you grew up in Minneapolis, right? No, you grew up in kind of a small town in Minnesota.
I grew up about an hour and a half outside of Minneapolis. This place called Albany, Minnesota. It's very small. I think to this day it's still under 3,000 people. And yeah, and what's funny is like I'll say that, but then other times people will be like, "Oh, that's like pretty big." My town was like 120 people. I'm like, that's not a town. That's a municipality. That's a cult, actually. I don't know where you grew up, but I grew up in a town at the very least. So was there, started comedy in this place probably about an hour from where I grew up. And then very quickly was like, okay, in Minnesota, like Minneapolis is where you need to be if you're going to go really do this. And then in 2017, moved from Minneapolis to New York, and then have been back in Minneapolis almost, it'll be 2 years in November. Yeah.
You did what you needed to do in the big city, and then you're like, we're going back.
I
That's
did-
the smart move.
I did some of what I needed to do. A pandemic happened. I contemplated my life for a year and a half after that pandemic, and then we moved back. Yes, but yeah, comedy in Minneapolis is so great. And as a comedian who wants to work the road and stuff, I just felt like I could do a lot of the stuff I wanted to do here, and I can go back and visit New York, which is like I'm back there a couple times a year at least. So I feel good about it. I feel good about where I'm at, and
It's
lucky.
a good move.
Yeah,
You're centrally located. You got like a hub. It's easy to get wherever. It's a lot cheaper.
yeah.
And better music town historically.
Then New York City.
Yep. I'm going to say it.
Okay.
You got the Replacements, Husker Du.
Sure, that is true.
You got Morris Day.
Didn't
New
even
York
know
doesn't
that.
have Morris Day.
I didn't know that. That's hilarious. You're the first person who's ever said that, and I agree with you. I agree.
My favorite, I'm a huge Prince guy, and my favorite thing is he met Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, and Morris Day. Do you know how they all met?
Oh boy, I want to say like swimming, basketball, elementary school, some sort of situation.
Close, like you're in the right track, but they were all in the after-school advanced math program.
Whoa.
They're all math nerds.
Did not know that. That's awesome.
And Morris Day was originally the drummer for the time, and then they had Alexander O'Neill as their singer, and he quit, and Morris Day started singing. It's a whole thing.
Do you want to switch cities? You know more about Prince than I know. So like,
I'm a big Prince fan. And I've never been there. I've never been there.
I mean, what are we doing here?
I know. I need to visit. Is there like a regional soda or seltzer of Minneapolis?
I would actually say the regional drink here, which is kind of a sad tell about the Midwest in general, is probably like Hams or Grain Belt. So it's actually beer. It's not.
Okay.
It's not.
Sense.
It's not like we don't have like a kid-friendly drink. There is something.
Dad soda.
Right. Yeah. It's like this is what makes Dad withstand his family.
Yeah.
This is or what ruined our family. But yeah, Hams I feel like is a big thing in Minneapolis or the Midwest. There was something someone was telling me the other day. I gotta figure it out. But if I figured it, here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna come visit. You're gonna take a trip to Paisley Park, and then while you do that, I'm gonna set up like a seltzer something tasting for us.
A flight.
Yeah, seltzer flight. Okay, hear me out. What about a brewery, but there's no? It's just seltzers. Would people do that?
There's a couple. So I've done stand up at a bunch of different breweries, and one of them, I think it's Treehouse. So I don't drink, I never have.
Okay.
But Treehouse does their own line of seltzers in addition to the beers, and they do different cold brew canned coffees. But their seltzers are like unbelievably good. They do like 4 flavors. So I love doing shows there because they're just like piling on the seltzer.
I mean, this is great. Okay. How about co-headlining tour? You and me, we get sponsored by a seltzer thing and we hit different seltzer spots across the country. I mean, this is great. Who needs the rest of this podcast? I think we're good. We've just made, to combine, we probably made about $50 here. So I feel pretty good about what's happening.
We're very wealthy now.
Yeah, we're doing great.
Yeah, I think the only Midwestern soda, and I don't even think it counts anymore because they got bought out and they changed the formula, is Verner's. Speaking of Detroit, the ginger ale, which is not even good. I never had the original, and everyone was like, Verner's is great. And by the time I had it, it was like, I don't know, I think Coke owned it, and it tastes like garbage.
You're going to lose every Michigan person who listens. Every Detroit person is clicked off by now. It's over.
Well, you could also probably get Canadian sodas. So like President's Choice soda, if you ever wanted to get new Coke.
Okay.
President's Choice, which is kind of like a generic brand in Canada, they bought the new Coke formula. So they have a called New Wave Cola, President's Choice New Wave Cola in Canada, and that's new Coke. It's the same formula.
What a crazy name.
Yeah.
They go from Coke to the longest thing ever. That's awesome.
Yeah, like it's 2 sentences. But anyway, you picked an issue here from March 7th to the 13th, 1992. Excellent year. This is like right in my sweet spot of 88 to 92.
Okay.
This is The Parent's Guide to Kids TV. We got Macaulay Culkin on the cover. What about this one spoke to you?
I wanted to do 90s-esque. I wanted to be in that realm for sure. I was like, I don't know what would happen. At a certain point, I was like, what about my birthday or what about whatever? Then I just kind of picked like a random. I'm like, what was I doing in the spring of like 1992 or whatever? And I was like, probably just sitting around watching TV. I wasn't doing anything. So I wanted to see what was going on in a little more a little more boring time. I feel like spring is spring like a big deal in TV. Like sweeps is in the fall, right? Or it used to be.
Sweeps, yeah. There's November and May sweeps.
Oh, okay.
And those were for the listeners. Most listeners know, but for those that don't, that's when they would set the rating, like the bar, so that's what they could charge for commercials, because they didn't have like instant ratings. So they'd be like, "Look, we're gonna take a snapshot of ratings in May, and that's what you pay." And they're like, "But what if it's way lower the rest of the year?" I said, "It's that day, and that's the day you do it." Yeah, my dog's knocking things over. He's got a cone on because he's been itching, and he's come in like a drunk, and he's pushing things over it. Now he's gone.
Sounds like somebody needs a seltzer. Okay.
Yeah, he needs what seltzer. Dogs love the bottles. They chew the bottles after. So in May and November. But the interesting thing about like March is between like end of January and March, we would get mid-season replacements. And that was always exciting because that was like shows that were on the backbench that they were like, we had to cancel these garbage shows we had in the fall. So pull these weird shows out of storage to come in mid-season. And there's a few mid-season replacements that ended up being huge hits. Like Seinfeld was a mid-season replacement originally.
Okay.
Kate and Allie, there's a few others. But it's always a weird time. Like mid-season replacements, like substitute teachers, where you're like, who are these people? What?
What does their breath smell like? Hams.
Yes. Yeah. We had a Spanish teacher named Mr. McLean who looked like Vincent Price and just smelled like he ate cigarettes. And people called him Mr. McStain.
Tough.
Mr. McDirty, which I thought was clever, but didn't sound as nice.
Yeah. That's just kind of being mean.
Senor Stinky, because he was the Spanish teacher.
Damn, that's pretty good actually. I like that. That's not bad.
Yeah, that one at least was like appropriate to the subject.
Yeah.
This is a very special edition of TV Guide as well, because there's a decoder, which I took out of this issue, and I don't know where it is. It was like a little TV size window. And this is when everyone had those contests. Like, remember Pepsi had the thing where you could open them and like money would shoot out?
And like, what? No, I didn't know that.
There was, I think it was 92. There was this campaign where there were certain cans of Pepsi that literally they had like air in them, and a little like $100 bill would shoot out when you opened it. That was the contest. So there was all these contests where it's like, you got the winning ticket kind of Willy Wonka type stuff.
Okay.
And they did this for TV Guide. So you had a decoder that you would go on certain pages that kind of look like QR codes, and somebody won $100,000. Wasn't me.
That's incredible. That we got to bring that back. I want to give me not that I need a lot of push to get back into drinking soda or whatever, but like if you put money in there, I'm back on it. I'll get diabetes to potentially win like $200.
If you have enough money, it doesn't matter.
Who cares? Yeah.
That was when Pepsi was doing like the Pepsi Points. Did you see that documentary about that?
I have not.
They in the commercial, they were like, things you can get with Pepsi Points, and it was like a jean jacket, whatever. And then at the end, it's a guy in a fighter jet, and all the things had like, jean jacket, 20,000, and the fighter jet, obviously a joke, but it said like, 2 billion Pepsi Points.
Right.
So some guy was like,
of course,
I'm gonna get that fucking fighter jet.
Absolutely.
And this guy got the points, and he went to Pepsi. He's like, yeah, I got all the points. He took him like a year, and he's like, I want the fighter jet, and they're like, that was a joke. He's like, watch the commercial again. Doesn't say it's a joke. And they had to give it to him.
Oh.
There's a documentary about it.
I thought it was going to be like, and then he sued him and he got like the equivalent.
He did sue him.
But he got the jet. He's like, I don't want money. I want the jet. So he just has a jet in his backyard.
And his lawyer was Michael Avenatti, who was Stormy Daniels' lawyer.
Wow.
And then he tried to run for mayor of New York or something, and he went to jail for. Yeah, it's an insane story.
Do you know? Was that before? Like, do you think those points are based off of like the Marlboro point, like the cigarette things, or was it the other way around? Do you know who copied who?
Marlboro miles were first, so they're pretty much all based on green stamps, which were started like post World War II, and like supermarkets would do it. So you got like so many stamps for stuff you bought, and then you could like turn them in for plates or whatever.
Yeah.
So all these different companies did it but around 92 it really blew up because we also had the Kool-Aid Wacky Warehouse that had Kool-Aid points.
Sure. Oh my god!
Which I was like,
what a country we are. That's awesome.
Wacky Warehouse.
So
I don't always mention this feature in TV Guide because not in every issue, but the Ask TV Guide is always fun to me because obviously pre-internet, you can't look stuff up.
right.
This has to be a question that's bothering you so much. You need to know. And they're usually, kind of boring. But this one's great because it mentions a show that was such a cultural phenomenon and is completely forgotten now. And it says, does Mark DeCarlo, host of Studs, date any of the female contestants? And do the women have their answers scripted for them? I can't believe most of them are that quick.
That's awesome. First of all, I skimmed past this page. I was getting more into the meat of it later, obviously, looking at other stuff. I thought that was the guy. I thought that was Ross from Friends. Didn't even know that was a completely different guy. That's awesome.
Stand-up comedian Mark DeCarlo got the gig hosting Studs. And I don't know if you remember Studs.
No.
But it was like super horny dating games circa 92. So it was like all these, like just the worst dudes you could ever imagine. Like mullets and like Z Cavaricis, IOU sweatshirts. And it was like just sleazy. And the most shocking thing is the answer says DeCarlo above 29.
29, yeah.
No way.
He looks 37 easy.
Minimum.
Full head of hair. Looks great, but
But he
30s.
is looking,
That's
easily
wild.
late 30s. Quote, does not interact in real life with the contestants.
What does that mean? What do you mean?
Don't make eye contact with Mr. DeCarlo, please.
He's just got to stand. He's asking questions to an empty studio, and then he has a stand-in later. They're like, hey.
They cut him in.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to deal with these people.
He did his show like they do stand-up on the Colbert show, where it's just he's not even there, and they just cut him in. That's great.
Colbert's on a plane back to Chicago by the time you get introduced.
That's awesome.
As for the answers, Studs producers interview the women after their dates and, quote, work extremely closely with them to come up with spicy responses.
I don't like that. They just told on themselves in a way that I don't feel good about. So I'm glad.
All a lie.
I'm fine with missing the show. I think that's okay.
Then we have the best and worst kids show. So this was the cover story. And this was pretty interesting. They have a really good panel of people. There's about 10 people, like TV critics. There's President's Action for Children's Television, like some pretty hefty people with like some real bona fides.
Sure.
And the shows that they love surprised me. There's We All Have Tales, which was a Showtime like multicultural show about like different myths and legends from like different cultures.
Boo. As a kid,
seems
boo.
boring.
As a kid, I'm booing that. I'm sorry.
But looking at it now, they have a little picture of one of the things, and it's like this really stylized, cool looking tiger. And I'm like, I bet that was actually pretty good.
It does look pretty sick. I'll give you that.
Tiny Toons, can't disagree with them on that one.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's
incredible.
Great. And Doug, which they like, which not my favorite Nicktoon, but a solid show.
Hell yeah, I feel like it still holds up if you're watching it now. I feel bad, I guess, but whatever. Yeah, I like Tiny Toons and Doug. I would stand by those two. I'm about to be real pissed off. I can already see what's about to happen.
I know, you're the world's biggest Yo Yogi fan. They called Yo Yogi a terrible tune. They did two terrible cartoons. One's Yo Yogi, which I don't know if you remember, but this was a new Yogi Bear cartoon for the 90s where he's a rapper.
Jesus Christ.
It's real bad.
Okay.
It's real bad.
I'm aligned with TV Guide on Yo Yogi, I guess.
Yeah.
Real quick, I feel like, can you name a good NBC cartoon? I don't know that I could. Or one that
NBC
you like.
Yes, I was a CBS guy. Like CBS had the best stuff because they had like Dungeons and Dragons and Pee-wee's Playhouse and Grimly. NBC did have Kid Video, which I liked.
Okay. I just remember I don't even know if this was NBC. I remember this was in a show. It was like Ghost Rider. You remember Ghost Rider? It's not a cartoon, obviously.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's the kind of thing that I remember being on NBC. Was just like you're kind of learning, but it's a little bit fun. And you're like, I know what this is. Give me back to the violence, you know?
Yeah, and they did TNVC, which was like Hang Time and Dreams, and Saved by the Bell. But they also did some weird stuff that just Smurfs was on forever. Like at one point, Smurfs was on for like 4 hours every day, every Saturday. I was like, bullshit.
It was their Fantasy Factory with Rob Dyrdek and MTV. Yeah, I like that.
This is the core. And their other one they hate is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Insane. I'll fight everybody here. This is crazy.
That's a funny show. It was creative. It was interesting.
Just like, sometimes it's, okay, so I wrote a graphic novel for kids, right? And for my podcast, my co-producer was like, what if we look at some of the comments you got on Goodreads or whatever? Which, he hates me. Only a person who would hate me would do that. Yeah. And I did it, whatever. And then it was like 40-year-old women being like, you know, this would be great for children. I'm like, that's what it's for. What do you mean? That's what this feels like. That feels like an adult looking at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles being like, I don't get it. Turtles can't talk. And you're like, it's not for you. Go to your grave. It's for young.
They're ninjas, you say?
Yeah. Culturally, I don't know. I've never seen a ninja and a turtle in the same place at the same time.
There was a big backlash of it being too violent, which is silly in hindsight.
Yeah, look at us now.
Yeah, these were the same people who are like, you can't watch The Simpsons because that Bart is disrespectful.
Those were my parents. I have a joke about that exact same thing. That's hilarious.
You're not alone.
Okay.
You're not alone. Okay. All it took was one kid to tell their parents not to have a cow. And so they hate that. But then some of the older children shows like Reading Rainbow, which I'll still watch a Reading Rainbow. LeVar Burton on Reading. Their episode with Run DMC, that's like a perfect half-hour television. Come on.
Yeah. Okay.
Mr. Wizard's World, which was not the best show, but I always bring up on this show because it was so fun to see an old man who hated those Canadian kids. He hated them. He was so mad at them all the time.
That's awesome.
Putting them in dangerous scenarios. 3-2-1 Contact, which had one of the best theme songs of any PBS show. Which was great. Although this says 3-2-1 Contact handles the tough subjects, including sex and math.
Gotta be honest. In my lifetime, 2 of the hardest things I've ever had to deal with. So I totally understand that.
The way they write it sounds like they mean together.
Right. The arithmetic of coitus.
Yes. Let's see if the angles are right. Then they have most forgivable shows with tie-in toys, which is an interesting thing.
Yeah, what is that?
Shining Time Station. This is when, only time this has ever happened, Ringo Star was replaced with George Carlin.
That's awesome. That's incredible.
Captain Planet, a show. I love the theme song. Terrible show.
Yeah, I think I remember just the idea of the show more fondly than the actual show. But without that show, we would never get the Don Cheadle version of Captain. Yes. So it holds a place in my heart. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I think that was the best Funny or Die thing. I think it was Funny or Die.
Yeah. But,
Where's Waldo? There's no toys tie-ins with Where's Waldo. I forgot CBS did a Where's Waldo cartoon. What the hell happened in that thing?
Yeah, I can't imagine. I'm looking at the picture on here and I'm like, first of all, it looks like it's from the 70s. Like it looks very old. I don't remember the show at all. And even now, I bet the people who worked on it are like, yeah, we wish we would have got in on the Where in the World was Carmen Sandiego train, but you take the job that's in front of you. What can you do? You know.
As a writer, can you imagine if they were like, "You're all right, Ben, you're on the Where's Waldo show. Start pitching us stories." Like it's just a picture book. What?
Just flop. So at this time, he's he's behind a bush he's behind a Christmas tree that is decorated like his shirt.
There's a bunch of... All right, he's in France, right? And there's people with similar clothes on.
You just hear a single gunshot in the back. Yeah. That was the last bad idea. Do you have a better one?
We found him. Then there's the least forgivable shows with tie-ins, which are Super Mario World and whatever. I like the worst ones here. Worst sitcoms for families to watch together is Married with Children. Duh, obviously. They're
incredible. But I disagree now. Now I'm like, let's get back to it.
And this one I was surprised by, Step by Step, which they point out what I was putting on the show. That show was so horny, sleazy.
I was about to say, yeah. There's a lot of, and it was weird. It probably explains a lot of the predilections for our country now, because there was a lot of like, hey, wait, aren't they like okay, they're not related, but they're like step siblings, right? What's happening? They're all right, and the mom is just throwing them around all day. All right, this is great. Okay.
Yeah, and Suzanne Summers and Patrick Duffy would always be like oddly inappropriate. Like it would be like shocking. It'd be like, all right, why don't you kids go out so me and your mom could bang?
Right.
Like, it'd be like, what?
Yeah.
TGIF.
Parents are watching this like, what is this? 3, 2, 1 contact? Get out of here. We don't do this.
Where's the math? Then this might be the most 1992 category ever. Best teen shows. Not. The things they say are True Colors, which is actually a pretty good show. I don't know if you remember that show.
No.
It was on Fox. It was basically step by step, but not sleazy, and about a black guy who married a white woman, and they have like mixed family.
Sure.
Each have their own kids, like kind of the Brady Bunch.
Sure.
And it was a decent sitcom, but like pretty not edgy, like, but just like a nice representation. Like it wasn't a terrible show.
Okay.
And they go married with children of different ages and races. That's it. They're like,
Written by an actual teenager. It's like, this stinks.
Ed Bark of the Dallas Morning News put it on the list. And he says, I hate that the black kid is given all this, quote, yo mama stereotype humor. I'm like, dude, it's 1992.
Sure. He would,
Everyone had that.
He would hate Modern Family. He would not
Yes.
like, let's go. Not Modern Family. What's the one? What's the sad one that's on NBC that it has like the black guy who's adopted? It has like the bigger lady and the couple.
Blackish?
No. It's not a comedy. It's oh my god. It's the spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen this.
Oh, This Is Us?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm thinking of. Like I feel like this, what he's describing, is like that kind of show, but it's supposed to be funny. I guess I'm saving some of these shows so I can look them up on YouTube later. True Colors, I don't remember.
True Colors, I've rewatched it. Is decent. And then they just go best shows, not, and then they just say MTV. What? And they specifically call out Fab Five Freddy. Why? What did he ever do to anybody? I never heard of anyone having a problem with Fab Five Freddy.
It may not be as brutally violent as it once was. What was MTV before? What the?
I don't remember any violence on MTV. Honestly, 92, the only violence I remember on MTV is Michael Jackson's Black or White video, that like 10-minute segment where he's smashing the car and grabbing his dick.
Absolutely.
That's like maybe the most violent thing I saw on MTV.
Quick backtrack for True Colors. Just looking at this, I'm guessing the dad on the show.
Yep.
I'm rewatching The Wire with my wife, who's watching it for the first time. He's one of the commanders or whatever in The Wire. It's
That doesn't surprise me. Like Fox ended up having like a bunch of New York theater actors in like their sitcoms. Like Charles Dutton is a good example for Rock. They had like some kind of heady actors being in sitcoms because they were like, whatever, I don't know, it's a paycheck.
This is great.
And then they have kids pick the best and worst shows. One is My Parents Hate When I Watch, and it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, MTV, and Growing Pains, which surprised me.
Yeah, what a Growing Pains did you get on the list? I don't really understand.
My parents love when I watch The Simpsons and Beverly Hills 90210. That surprised me.
Those are bad parents, but they're cool. They're fun.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, go ahead. Have a little ice cream for breakfast. I'm going to go smoke a joint. You want any?
Yeah.
Like, those are the kind of parents that...
I'll leave my room. You kids just stay quiet.
Don't bother me.
Most educational 60 Minutes. No kid was watching 60 Minutes.
Not at all. No question.
And then they have because he's on the cover, we get Macaulay Culkin. And This is 2 years after Home Alone, so I think Home Alone 2 is coming out. And it says, Macaulay Culkin, what I watch when I'm home alone. And then this was unfair to him, I think. It says, we asked, with a $5 million salary plus a share of the profits for his upcoming Home Alone 2.
Unnecessary.
What TV shows Macaulay Culkin? Like, why bother? What, like... The kid got paid, but made a lot of money. Leave him alone.
Just completely doxing him. Like, yeah, and his address is 425 Maple Lane.
Yeah, it's unmarked bills. And nothing surprising here. Family Matters, Roseanne, The Simpsons.
That's all. How old is he? This is pretty surprising.
He's 12.
He's watching Roseanne. That does shock me a little bit. I got to be honest.
I mean, I was watching it I'm the same exact age as him.
Okay.
He does mention The Good Son, which they shot here in Massachusetts and is a film I auditioned for.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Obviously didn't get the part. Didn't want to.
Something tells me, like, be honest with me, do you feel like he was really watching these shows? So they're like, here's some popular ones. I feel like he's probably, like, I can't even imagine the type of shit he was into at, like, 12.
If you're 12 and you have $5 million and your family wants to, like, keep you happy because you're making all the money,
right?
Like, yeah, you're not watching TV. You have like a movie theater in your house.
Exactly.
Like a water slide.
Yeah, I'm watching unreleased cuts of like Rambo or something, or like Predator or something like that.
I have like a TV studio in my home, and I'm having people do sitcoms just for me.
Right. Sometimes if I get really bored, I pay 2 homeless people to fight in my basement. But
yes, and I film it, and I make the bum fights empire.
Right. Exactly.
Like some guy's like, all right, someone came up with Girls Gone Wild already. Anything else like that?
What else do we like? Fighting to the death in the street. Perfect.
And then there's a great article in here, interview with Mr. Rogers, who, you know, I've developed this theory in the last year or two that life, at least for American people of our general age group, is split into sort of 3 phases. Okay. It's loving Mr. Rogers, thinking it's stupid and making fun of Mr. Rogers, and then loving Mr. Rogers again and realizing you were a dickhead for making fun of Mr. Rogers.
That feels right. That actually makes a lot of perfect sense. Like that, I bet that'll be how the path for like Miss Rachel is for kids, where they'll be like, oh yeah, Miss Rachel's the best thing ever, and then they'll be like, Miss Rachel's for babies, right?
Stupid.
And then later they'll be like, she had so many good ideas, and I hope she's okay. I hope she's doing all right, you know?
Like Fred Rogers was like, I'm a devout atheist, but I'm like, this man is like what people who are like, I'm Christian should be.
Sure.
Like he's walking the walk on everything. And he also, like, anytime people would try to give him shit or make fun of him, he always managed to flip it. Yeah. Like I mean, first of all, there's the footage of him testifying before Congress, which is like one of the most amazing pieces of footage I've ever seen, where he single-handedly gets them the funding for PBS with this like cartoonish Southern senator who sounds like Foghorn Leghorn. It's ridiculous. He literally goes, "Oh, well, Rogers, you just got yourself the money." He's like, like he's ridiculous. But then like Letterman, especially like old school Letterman, would often have people on the show just to like shit on him. Yeah. And he tried to do that with Mr. Rogers. And it was when Eddie Murphy was on SNL doing the Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood.
Okay.
And they were filming that in 8H as well as Letterman. And he's like, oh, you seen this Eddie Murphy parody of you? Like trying to make him mad. And Fred Rogers goes, yes, I love it. You know, obviously he must love the show to observe it that well and to pay tribute to it with this thing. And Letterman's like, are you kidding me? He's like, no, I went down to the studio earlier today and met him. And he's got like photos of him and Eddie Murphy.
That's awesome.
And like Letterman's like, oh, like he has no idea what to do with it.
Yeah, that's for people with like, I feel like sometimes I have that temperament of being like, you don't really like this, right? For people like us, our kryptonite is just genuine vulnerability and honesty, and be like, no, I love it, and it's okay that you don't like it. I just really do. And then I'm just like, I have to sit in my own emotion. I miss my dad.
Yeah, but I'm mad that you're not angry.
Right.
Yeah. So let's dive into the listings. Oh God. Hold on one moment.
Okay.
I'm going into the listings and I see this, there were all these Alf ripoff shows.
Yeah.
And one I forgot about, which they have a little box in here about, is called Scorch. And it was a puppet dragon that was supposed to be a real dragon. And it just says, Scorch isn't Alf. Don't confuse Alf with Scorch. There's one significant difference. Alf was housebound. Comic tension arose from the family's need to hide the alien. Scorch gets out and about, masquerading as a ventriloquist dummy for a local weatherman.
You know you're fucked when you gotta be like, no. I am not the thing that you're thinking of and that is more popular and more successful.
Yes.
I am not that. I'm actually
totally
the complete
different.
opposite.
That whole little box sounds like when, have you ever seen that footage of Vanilla Ice trying to explain how Ice Baby is different than Under Pressure?
Yeah.
It's totally different.
That's so funny. That's exactly right.
So let's dive into our Saturday night. What are you doing? And this is a Boston edition, so you would have been in Central Time.
Yeah.
I believe, right? So slightly different, but, you know.
I played by the rules. I went from 8 to 10. Occasionally, I might have dipped into the 7 because I was like, oh, come on, you know, I need a little bit of this. But yeah, I don't know. Also, this is crazy. You scanned all of this? This is insane.
Yeah. It takes me hours.
I can't believe the amount. There's two things that like truly blew my mind digging into this. One, it's the amount of work they put into it, and two, it's the amount of work you put into it. This is
Which
crazy.
makes less sense given they were paid well.
Yeah. And yeah, people can't even see it. Like, this is 113 pages of just stuff.
It takes me about an hour. It takes me about a page a minute because I scan them at like a pretty high rate. I do it when I'm doing other stuff like editing or stuff, but yeah, it takes me a couple hours per issue.
I'm happy to be here.
Like hundreds since
this
COVID.
Is insane.
Yeah. There's no database of them. Like no one had done that.
Wow. Absolutely insane. Okay. Yeah. So I want to, I guess we'll start with, I had a note that I'm like, okay, so I decided, like, you know, you go back, you look at what you would watch, whatever. I decided that I wanted to do stuff that was only on like network television because I didn't have cable growing up. So I wanted to be like, I'll be me, but there was a lot going on and I needed to shrink it down a little bit.
Yep, that's one tactic. A lot of people do that. You're not alone. Other people do the full wish fulfillment. They're like, I didn't have cable growing up. I'm going nuts.
Yeah.
So it's like usually one or the other.
So
Totally
so I just did that. So I went starting on Saturday. I'm starting with Golden Girls. I'm going Golden Girls 8:30. All right, and then I'm flipping between basketball and I'm doing Comic Strip Live because I feel like actually that would be awesome to watch. I never watched it when I was younger, but this would be incredible. So that's how I'm kicking off I'm guessing pretty lonely Saturday if these are the things I'm watching. But Golden Girls to start it all off with a little laugh. I love basketball. I'm a basketball person, so we check that out. And then like comedy at night. You know, your parents are in bed. You're laughing at something inappropriate.
This a little risque.
Yeah, this is perfect.
Yeah, this is the final season of Golden Girls, I believe. Solid show, never got bad. Although speaking of Don Cheadle, he's in Golden Palace, the Golden Girls spin-off show.
I did not know that.
It's bad.
Okay.
I think it's like one of the first things he did. He was in an episode of Night Court before that where he played a guy who holds the gang hostage because obviously.
Well, you know.
And so he was in Golden Palace with Cheech Marin. It was everyone but B. Arthur, Cheech Marin, and Don Cheadle who ran a hotel.
I hate that. Don't love that at all.
It was bad. And then Young Indiana Jones is on, which I did not watch. So you're watching the college basketball? That's the Miami at Providence?
Yep. That's the kind of guy I am.
Okay.
Even in the Midwest, I'd still be like, no, actually, I think Providence was pretty good at this time. This might have been.
I didn't know the Providence team was called the Friars.
Yes. I don't know that this is true. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I think their basketball coach at the time might have been Rick Pitino, who now is like a big basketball coach. But
I've heard the name.
But at the time was like low-key cheating behind closed doors and eventually got caught busted supplying recruits with like prostitutes and all that sort of stuff.
Of course, yeah.
It's
something you'd think Pat Riley would do.
Right. He's got a real Pat Riley. I think it was,
big Pat Riley energy. I know I'm watching on TV 56, one of our UHF stations. They're showing the 1987 Canadian horror movie The Gate, which is a very fun movie.
Okay. I like that. Okay.
This is about a nerdy kid who plays a heavy metal record backwards, and it opens a gateway to hell in his backyard.
Damn. Honestly, that's a really good like 90s premise. Think about how many people are like, if you started at 30 seconds in and then you reverse it, you go. It's like, that's pretty sick. I like that a lot, actually.
It's a fun movie, and it stars a young Stephen Dorff. It's one of his first roles.
Okay.
But good movie. Let me see if it says who is on Comic Strip Live that night. So that was Fox. They would have stand up on Saturday and Sunday night. They have a Paul Rodriguez special.
I saw that. I did see that. I skipped that, but it was it's available. If I want it, it's there.
Could be seen. And then let's see if they have who's on Comic Strip Live. It's Rich Schneider, Wendy Liebman, been on the show.
That's great.
Wendy Liebman, Norm Macdonald.
Wow.
Tim Jones and Wayne Cotter is hosting.
I don't know Tim Jones or
Me either.
Rich Schneider, did he do you know I Am Comic? Is that him?
Yes. He's the blonde guy. kind of talks like this, like he's like kind of incredulous. Yeah. But Wendy Liebman and Norm Macdonald, 1992. That's
a fun
lineup.
watch. Also, for anyone who is like me, and if I were listening to this, I'd be like, it wasn't Rick Pitino who was the basketball coach. It was Rick Barnes, who ended up coaching at Texas, who is now at Tennessee, who was a very good basketball coach. I stand by my picks. I feel pretty good about this.
So my listener who pulled over to the side of the road so they could yell at the radio,
punching the horn,
they could make their way back to work again. Yeah, there you go. Sunday, what are you doing?
Sunday, I'm doing. I made a note. I said I'm going to bed pissed because this is how I spent my Sunday night. But I'm doing funniest videos at 8, and then I'm just watching Never Say Never Again for the rest of the night, and then I'm going to bed.
Are you a big Bond guy?
I'm not, but it's again. If I'm going to my framework, these are the things. Like so,
yeah.
I actually now I hate America's Funniest. I hate the concept. I hate the idea that like. Everything. I don't know that you got paid if you sent anything in. I don't think you did. And then most of the videos are just like, "Hey, what if you kicked a child in the groin? Isn't that hilarious?" And you're like,
and we own this forever now.
Yeah, this is crazy. I hate the concept of it, but I do remember as a kid watching it a lot with my family, and that being like a source of like, "Okay, we're all coming together." So I decided to leave it on the list. And then, like, I could go back. I just went back and watched the Mission Impossible series. I feel like I could find myself doing that for James Bond. So, like, it's obviously longer, but, like, you know, I'll go back through and see what's going on there. I could do that. Never Say Never.
TBS is doing James Bond weekends.
Yes.
So every weekend in March 92, they're doing James Bond movies. Again, it's a little bit before 8 o'clock, but I do want to mention 7:30 on NBC. Eerie, Indiana was on, which was an amazing, underrated show. Didn't make it a whole season. Still holds up. It is weird and great, and one of those shows that probably would have been animated if it came out 5 years later. But the fact that it's live action makes it so much better and weirder.
I don't know if I remember anything about that show.
It was Joe Dante who did Gremlins and a bunch of other stuff.
Cool.
And it was about these two kids in a place called Eerie, Indiana, where just like weird things happened, and they're the only ones who seem to notice. And so they keep like diaries of everything. So this one is trickery makes Marshall the new Harvest King, and he finds the king's traditional task no treat. He must venture to see the eerie wolf, which turns out to be a werewolf.
Who among us hasn't been there, you know?
Yeah.
The king tasks you with something and it turns out to be a werewolf. Buddy, like, relatable.
Yeah, that's how we become a man. There's an episode where one of them gets new headgear braces, and all of a sudden they can hear dogs, like understand dogs talking, and the dogs are all plotting to kill everybody.
It's kind of like... Wait, so it's like a funny show? Is it funny or is it like... Okay.
It's a comedy. Yeah.
Okay, that's fun. It's kind of like fun Goosebumps, right?
Yes, exactly. It's very much like that, yeah. Like there's one where these two adult twins, their mom keeps them in Tupperware at night so they never age.
Well, you started with adult twins and their mom, and I thought, whoa, is this a rerun of Step by Step?
And then Parker Lewis is on, which was also a great show there. Funny Some Videos, I'm with you. However, I will freely admit I've laughed the most in my life, maybe ever, at several America's Funny Some Videos things. And I'm proud of it.
I mean, we still like think about like a show like Wipeout or like any like Japanese game show or whatever. I feel like there's a lot of the same concepts where it's just like someone who shouldn't fall is falling. This is good. We like this. Yeah. I just think now there's so many ones where it's like, I tricked my kid into slamming his head into a brick wall. Am I a good dad?
Yeah, they're like, I told my kid I ate his Halloween candy. I traumatized my child. Like, yeah, those are, I'm just like, that's just mean. I also hate pranks. I feel like this was probably a Northeast thing because there's a specific kind of cruelness we have here. But like radio DJs would always do like April Fool's joke. Oh, yes, sir. This is the police department. Your wife's dead.
Right.
And then the person's like, oh my God. And they're like, ah.
Jacqueline, no.
Yeah. And you're like, that's not a joke. That's just a lie that made someone upset. Like, that's not really funny.
Yeah. I'm not a big prank guy. I tell this to my friends a lot and they're like, yeah, no, we get it. You're not fun. We understand. But I'm just like, I don't love a prank. I'll tell you that right now.
No, they're not great. So what do I do? I'm doing that, and then is that everything on your Sunday?
That was literally it. It was 2 shows. I'm pissed. I have to go back to work or school tomorrow. I'm like, I can't believe I don't have a life. I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have anything going on. I'm watching fucking Funny Some Videos and Never Say Never Again. But
Sunday night, is also a night where they have original made-for-TV movies on.
Yeah.
And there is an incredibly horny one on NBC, and it stars Joanna Kearns from Growing Pains.
Oh, wow.
And it's called The Nightman.
Okay.
And it's like this moody, erotic thriller looking full page thing. And it says, Mother, Daughter, Nightman, Two's Company, Three's Murder. Joanna Kearns in The Nightman, a world premiere movie. Favorite part, though? Bottom left-hand corner of the poster. Sponsored in part by Orville Redenbacher.
Orville Redenbacher, you're going to need to hide your boner.
Two's Company, Three's Murder. Orville Redenbacher. Yeah.
That's so funny. Damn, that's
weird.
such a fun tagline. That's really good.
Monday, what are you doing?
Monday. Okay, Monday, I'm refreshed. I feel I'm tired from the day. Again, I'm jumping back and forth. I don't know who I am in this dimension. I know I could just be me, but I'm kind of like me, this personality, jumping into the child version of me's body.
Yeah, you have the opportunity to do it.
So I'm just like checking it out and being like, hey, little buddy. I'm talking to everybody in therapy talks to their inner child. I am my inner child, but I'm just watching TV. That's how I'm healing myself. So Monday, actually pretty good stretch right here. So Monday, we're going to go 8 o'clock, Fresh Prince, Different World, 8:30, Murphy Brown, Designing Women. And then I'm Northern Exposure. I'm staying up till 10:30. I'm doing Northern Exposure. This is a comedy night. This is like a hands down, we need to laugh. All right, let's get the week going.
Yeah, because first day back at school, miserable. Sunday night is miserable for that very reason.
Yeah.
Fresh Prince, this is a rerun, but it's a good episode. This is when he thinks that his aunt is kissing the handyman.
Sure.
If you recall that episode. It's on against Evening Shade, I was always a CBS Monday night guy. So CBS Monday nights forever was like Newhart, Murphy Brown, there was, by this time it had kind of shifted a little bit. So like Fresh Prince got the 8 o'clock, because although, adult me finds Burt Reynolds funny, Evening Shade was not my thing at the time.
Sure. Yeah.
In a Different World, it moved from Thursdays to Monday nights. Loved that show.
Yeah.
Even though now, this season, it was like a little silly. It was that thing where a show went on too long, it became like a little cartoonish.
Sure. I got you. That makes sense.
Once Whitley and Dwayne Wayne got together, it kind of ruined the whole thing. And then Cree Summer, who I love, but she played like a character that was too dumb. Like it was a sitcom character where you're like, this person can't function.
Yeah, you're like, no, they need help. We're all that. The laugh track is going off, but there should be sirens. We should be having a medical team help this person into a facility. They need help.
You've written them too dumb.
That's hilarious.
And then also Major Dad is on CBS, and I hated that show. So I'm definitely taking that first hour on ABC, and then going over to Murphy Brown and Designing Women, which I still love to this day.
Still great. Designing Women is awesome. This was the night I made a note and I said, I call this my personality night, because then the next day at school, it's like, everyone's like, wait, why are you so funny now? And I'm just stealing jokes from the show, Wow. That's pretty funny on Tuesday. That's pretty crazy.
Wow. You must stay home and write. Yeah. When I started wanting to do stand-up, I kind of or younger than that, it didn't occur to me that I loved stand-up, but I was mostly a sitcom watcher. So I was like, the way you're funny is you just wait for the right time, something to happen, and then you say the perfect thing.
I still feel that way. I'm not kidding. When I grew up, I didn't really watch a ton of stand-up as a kid or even in high school. It was later in college and adulthood, whatever. And this is what you just described is how I interact in social situations. I'm listening. But if I'm trying to have a little fun, I'm waiting for the perfect time to say something. I'm waiting to throw in a little sitcom-esque.
Set me up.
Yeah. I totally understand that. That's so funny.
Yeah, it's a good skill to develop. In Northern Exposure, a show that is so good, funny, sweet, dramatic when it needs to be. Every time I rewatch it now, I'm like, this holds up. It's a great show. I feel like it doesn't get recognized enough as how influential it was.
Sure.
And how just what a solid show.
Yeah, I remember watching a little bit. I don't remember a ton about it right now, but I do remember being there's just one of the shows my dad would watch it, and I'd be like, all right, I guess I'd watch it too, whatever. And I like
it's a good show to marathon. Like if you're looking to marathon a show,
Yeah.
and you don't want to watch something that makes you super depressed.
Sure.
It's great. It's dramatic enough. It's fish out of water, but the characters are really great and weird and quirky, but not like one-dimensional quirky where you're like, this guy talks to skunks. That's his whole character. Like it's
Right.
like at least they've written them as something. Yeah, I love Northern Exposure.
Is it set in Minnesota?
No, it's set in Alaska. Sicily,
Alaska, that's what it was. That's what it was.
So the premise is this guy, Joel Fleischman, he partakes in this program where he can go to medical school for free, but he has to do like 5 years after he gets his degree in like this small town that didn't have a doctor. Like they pay for him to go to school. So this is like him repaying his loan basically in this middle of nowhere Alaskan town, and he's this like uptight New York guy.
Okay.
Therein lies the conflict.
Yeah.
But it's great. I love that show.
I'm up
And it got greenlit in the wake of Twin Peaks, which is hilarious.
Yeah, what?
Because everyone was like, we don't understand why Twin Peaks is a huge hit, so like pitch us shows like that.
Sure.
So all these shows kind of Trojan horsed their way in, being like, yeah, it's Twin Peaks, it's a weird Northwest town. And then like they get it on the air, and then they're like, it's actually a comedy. They just kind of switch it up. There was like 4 or 5 shows that kind of made it on the air like that.
That rules.
Tuesday, what are you doing?
Tuesday, I'm going, okay, so this is a big flip day for me. We're going Soul Train Music Awards all the way through, front to back. Flipping in, I'm watching Celtics Heat. I'm watching Roseanne. This is 9 o'clock. And I got a little bit of Nova. I'm a little sophisticated, so I got to watch a little bit of Nova. And then 9:30, I'm flipping between all of that. Still Soul Train Awards, Taxi, and Coach. All right? Those are...
Soul Train was amazing. Did not air in the Boston market because, which not for reasons you would think. It didn't air because Soul Train was on, I think, like noon-ish on Saturday afternoons in most markets.
Okay.
But in New England, that spot was reserved exclusively for candlepin bowling.
Awesome. Which is...
So
someone said the Soul Train of Boston is that.
yes, that's our soul.
Yeah.
Every network here had their own candlepin show, and so there were like different bowling alleys that like that was the one they shot candlepins for cash or like bowling for. So like every afternoon, so that's why it wasn't on, but it did air in Providence. So if I wanted to watch Soul Train, I had to unplug the cable, plug the antenna in, and hope I could get the Providence station.
That's so funny.
So I would watch that sometimes.
That's hilarious.
Don Cornelius.
Yeah, incredible. I so like growing up, I only remember seeing like obviously like reruns or whatever at night. So even seeing this, I'm like, they had awards. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't really think about that.
It was huge. I feel like
Actually, I should know that.
People, because I think he was based out of Detroit as well. I think he shot it out of Detroit.
Not 100% sure, but I hope so. Theme of the episode is Detroit, so yes, I hope that's true.
But he it's such a fascinating idea because he like independently produced that show and then like single-handedly basically sold it himself in each market, and no one would advertise on it, so he sold the ads himself, which is why you would get all these like uniquely black products, like infamously that ad with Frederick Douglass. You ever seen that ad?
I don't know, but this is insane. I already like that.
So basically what he would do is he would be like, all right, so no one wants to buy ads for this, in whatever, Chicago. So we'll pay for this hour. We'll rent this hour of TV, and then we'll sell the ad time ourselves and make money. And so it would be like a lot of like black hair products or whatever. So there's a famous one, and this is not a joke. This guy, it's for some hair product to have your like fro be the natural.
Sure.
And he is introduced to this product by the ghost of Frederick Douglass.
You know what? I have seen this. Yes. Yeah.
He's like, I'm very familiar with the natural.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Joke. I'm like, this is amazing.
That's awesome.
But so many bands around that show, and then like the famous Soul Train train dance. Like I think people culturally will get the reference now, but I don't think people like younger than us really understand how massive and like pop culture changing that show was.
No. Also, fun anecdote: Roy Wood Jr. has a really fun story about how like his dad basically. It was something like Don Cornelius was a cop and he like pulled his dad over or something. And because of that interaction, he was like an investor. He was like going to be an early investor into Soul Train, and then pulled out for some reason. And it's just like so funny how small the world is. Where it's just like you have this connection to this incredible thing, but your dad also like fucked
Screwed it up.
Yeah,
You could have had Macaulay Culkin money.
exactly.
Yeah, so that's a very interesting. And 92 would have been a weird transition year as well, because this was like really hip hop started becoming mainstream. So like looking at the lineup, this is at a Shriners Auditorium in Los Angeles, and the performers are Boys to Men, Heavy D and the Boys, not the same
fun.
group. They should do Heavy D and the Boys to Men, like done a song together. That would have been cool.
Awesome.
Public Enemy, Color Me Bad,
Fun.
Keith Washington, Jodeci, and Prince received the Heritage Award for Career Achievement. Janet Jackson got the Sammy Davis Jr. Award for Entertainer of the Year.
That's fun. I'm watching that.
That's a solid lineup.
I might try to Google that later and watch this entire thing. I want to see that 1992 Soul Train Awards. Absolutely.
Yeah, that sounds great. Full House is on. Rescue 911, which was always funny because the reenactments were so badly done.
Sure.
And you could laugh because they always lived. Like they never had a bad outcome on that show.
That's a good point.
And it was always Southern kids. This is from last season, TV news crewman in a helicopter who aided Denver police in pursuit of a gunman, a toddler in Texas who was found unconscious in a pool, a California policeman who tried to stop an out-of-control, I can't read that word, with a youngster, car, I think, with a youngster behind the wheel. That just sounds fun.
That's wild. That's a wild Tuesday.
And they'll play the actual audio, which is hilarious, and then have this bad reenactment, which is great. Nova that night is rescuing baby whales.
Perfect. I stand by that.
Yeah. It's also Super Tuesday, so the primaries are this night for 92. So this was when Clinton cinched the Democratic nomination.
Mentally, I'm like, woo, all right, politics. But in my child body, I can't vote. So
boring.
I'm staying at home. Yeah, I'm staying at home.
Like when a debate would be on or whatever.
Yeah.
This is fucking bullshit. Fuck off. I'd be so mad. Or like a presidential address. I'd be like, I don't care. Gulf War my ass. The flash is on, you son of a bitch.
Exactly.
Yeah, not my thing. Wednesday, what are you doing?
Wednesday, we're back to basketball because it's 92 Bulls, so we got Jordan. You got to watch Jordan. And then this is also a great lineup. Flipping between Wonder Years, Seinfeld, Night Court, and then, shout out to Scott Bakula. We're doing Quantum Leap at 10. I'm watching
Great
Quantum
show.
Leap.
Solid lineup. 92 was... The Celtics' Bird was gone by 92, right?
I feel like he would have been done by then.
Yeah, I think Patrick Ewing might have still been. I feel like he was on, stayed on a little later. McHale was gone. So this was no one I knew on the Celtics anymore. And this was as a non-sports fan, you just had to know who was on the Celtics growing up.
No, he would have. Okay, so this would have been his last season, according to Google. He decided he could not continue. On August 18th, 1992, he announced his retirement as a player. So he might have been
back.
He might have been injured at this time, but he would have been on the team. It would have been dying Larry Bird versus up-and-coming Michael Jordan.
Because they literally, I don't know if his last game or whatever, but on all the networks here, it must have been August that year, they had this 4-hour farewell to Larry Bird thing on TV here. It was like the Pope died. It was this giant event here.
This is so funny. This game would have been incredible. So it's prime Michael Jordan. He's 29 years old, basically taking Larry Bird out behind the woodshed, I guess, and putting him out of his misery. I don't know. I'm trying to.
Was Charles Barkley on the Bulls?
No, he was never on the Bulls. This might have been Dennis Rodman time.
That's what I'm thinking
Dennis
of.
Rodman. Let me see. 92.
What was Barkley on?
He was on the Suns.
The Suns.
You're close. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something hot in there. Yeah. Dennis Rodman, 1992.
I know Larry, what's his name, Grandmama. He was on the Hornets.
Larry Johnson?
Yeah,
Right?
Larry Johnson.
Yeah. That's how that's what he wants.
Those are his stats. That's how he wanted the world to see him.
Yeah, this Wednesday might actually be my favorite night of TV out of all of these. Because this is exactly what Wonder Years would get me in my little feels or whatever. The Bulls, watching the Bulls with Jordan would be incredible. Night Court is such a great show. Seinfeld, even though I feel like I get tired of it because people talk about it in comedy so much, this would have been a great time to watch Seinfeld. And Quantum Leap, I feel like, is just my little sci-fi alley, and I would have liked to watch prime Scott Bakula get into it.
Yeah, the Wonder Years this night. This is this show was so good, and another show that holds up well. But the guest star as the school bully is played by James Caviezel.
Holy
people know
shit!
as Jim Caviezel, who played Jesus in the Passion of the Christ, and is now a super lunatic.
Yeah, he's insane. That's crazy.
Always weird when I see him in things that aren't insane, like losing his mind.
Talk about shows that aren't for kids. We had to see Passion of the Christ when I was in like junior high or something. Maybe it was like a little later, but
did you go to Catholic school?
It was for like our religion classes thing. So like, we're gonna go see this movie, and I was like, all right. And boy, did none of us like it. Not a single person.
We were reading The Crucible in 11th grade, and it's when the movie came out, and I have a lifelong love of Winona Ryder.
Sure.
I'm a white man in my 40s. And I convinced our English teacher to let us go to Salem, Mass, which isn't that far from us, and watch the movie The Crucible in the theater because I had a crush on Winona Ryder.
Good for you.
And they did it. They went for it.
You should have got extra credit just for that conviction, just for getting that level of stuff.
I made the case. I was like, everybody thank me. I did it. Also, all week on the Family Channel, the sitcom Big Brother Jake is on.
I didn't know what that was. Yeah, I know.
This show was, there was a guy named Jake Steinfeld from Long Island.
Awesome.
And he was a personal trainer to like famous people. And he's just some musclehead. But for some reason, people kept giving him shows, like trying to make him a thing. Mm-hmm. So he had the show called Big Brother Jake where he like runs an orphanage. And he's not an actor or a comedian. It was literally just like famous people were like, this guy taught me how to do sit-ups. Why don't we have a sitcom about it? He's like,
love it.
Like the most low rent Tony Danza.
Okay, sure. Okay.
Like that kind of thing. Big Brother Jake. Hey. This is the first season of Seinfeld. This is mid-season replacement, I think, Seinfeld. Mm-hmm. So it's still early. Seinfeld's a show that I loved when it was on. I can't really watch it now.
Yeah, I haven't gone back and watched it in a long time.
I don't feel like it holds up, partially because so much of the humor is based around plot reveals.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Like not like the shock of like, oh, wow, I can't believe, instead of like line delivery or character stuff, which I feel like is what holds up. Like if you look at Night Court.
Yeah.
Like John Larroquette can say a joke 500 different funny ways.
Right.
That no one else could sell. Like no one could sell that bit, and he's making it work.
That's a really good point. Yeah, I really have not. Like maybe in high school, I would get some, those DVD box sets, and you'd watch some seasons. But I'm not one of the comedians who just goes back and watches it every single day and quotes every single. That's just not who I am.
Yeah, me either. We're not so different, you and I. I'm just like, all right, I'm glad I watched it when it was on, but yeah, I'd much rather watch Night Court. This is the final season of Night Court, which got a little weird because the previous year they thought that was the final season and they all left, and then the network uncanceled the show and none of them wanted to be there and they didn't have any plots. They were like, oh no. And Quantum Leap, another show, always good. Like just a solid show. This is when he's basically Morton Downey Jr. in this episode.
I don't know if I know what that means.
So Morton Downey Jr. was a talk show host from like 87 to 90. It was hugely famous as just this asshole talk show host. Okay. Like he was like a cartoonish conservative. He'd be smoking and he'd be like, "What do you have to say, you piece of garbage?" Like he just like combative, and he was just this like his dad was a famous crooner, and he wanted to be a musician. He wrote the song Wipeout, but then just was a failure and everything. So he basically created this ridiculous persona, this like conservative, and it was all bullshit. And he was just there's a good documentary about him. At one point after his fame was over, he faked being attacked in an airport bathroom and that people carved a swastika in his forehead. He did it himself because people were like, how come it's backwards? Like you did it in the mirror. Oh, and he was like, I did this to myself.
I'm obsessed. This is incredible.
So he was this like a lot of. Did you ever see Predator 2?
Yeah.
he's in Predator 2 basically playing himself. He's like the newscaster guy.
Okay.
So and he's in a Tales from the Crypt episode basically playing himself. So there's like this little blip of time where he was this sort of pop culture like type that they would make shows about it. And so this Quantum Leap episode, he's being Morton Downey Jr.
Okay.
There you go. His show was so bad. He had a board game based on his show.
This is awesome. I'm looking into this.
Oh, the episodes are amazing because they shot them super low budget. They shot them in New York, I think in Staten Island. So the audience is like the trashiest New York guys. Like, yeah, Morton, I got a question for the lady who's a hooker. Like, it'd just be like this. He's like, what's your question, idiot? Hey, I'm going to kick your ass. Like, it's just like all these freaking John Travoltas.
Love it.
And yeah, it's great. And Morton Downey Jr. also clearly has no, like true perspective. So he'll just like argue with everybody on the panel. Like he's like, are you pro this? No, I don't understand what your stance is. He's just arguing with everybody.
So he would thrive in today's day and age. Basically, he'd be a jack of all trades. He could yell at anyone. He could yell at the best of them. He'd be clippable. He'd be incredible.
He basically invented all the Fox News stuff. Like ridiculous.
I'm watching this documentary.
But that's Morton Downey. It's a really good documentary, and almost all the episodes of his show are up on YouTube too. That's a rabbit hole. They're hilarious. Thursday, what are you doing?
Okay, Thursday I wrote Channel 25 has a banger lineup on Thursday. I said I'm getting home early and get in front of the TV so I can start with Married with Children at 7. I'm going a little earlier than I normally do here. And then I don't change the channel all night. I do sleep through, I didn't know what it was. Was it like Drexel's Class or something?
Drexel's Class, yep.
I'm like, I don't know if this is a class address. I don't know if this is a show. I didn't look into it, but
it was a sitcom. It was Dabney Coleman is like he's Dabney Coleman, and he's got a junior high school class, and they're always arguing, and
that's hilarious.
Every generation has every era of television has the teacher sitcom.
Yo, Teach, how come it's like
exactly?
It's the Steve Harvey show without Steve Harvey. Gotcha.
Yes, and it did pretty well, but only because it was on Thursday night between between The Simpsons and like something.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I'm so far off on the TV guy thing, but it was like everything. I'm sitting there truly the entire night. I skip that. I fall asleep and take a little power nap. Wake back up in time for Beverly Hills. That's where I'm at.
So you were watching Beverly Hills 90210 at that time?
I remember probably not 92, but however long it was actually on. There were times I do remember watching it, unless there was was there a reboot of it at some point? Maybe.
Yeah, recently, right before COVID, I think they did a reboot.
Okay, but if there wasn't one in like the early or late 90s, early 2000s, I definitely have watched some of the show, and I remember being like, yes, this. I don't even remember who it was, but one of them being like, yeah, she is actually really pretty. Just like really figuring myself out as a human being in that moment. But that feels like a good night.
This is a repeat from 1990, the first season of Beverly Hills 90210. This is a date rape episode, which I feel like is every third episode of 90210.
That's me not doing all of my research. Being like, I'm watching it. It's going to be fun.
90210. It's like a 50-50 chance it's going to be a date rape episode, to be honest with you.
Okay.
So you're not wrong. And every teenager on earth was watching that show except for me, because I committed to The Flash in 1990, which was on Thursday nights at 9. Hey. And by the time it got canceled, I was a year into 90210, couldn't catch up, and just was not trying.
What's done is done. You wipe your hands of it, it's over.
So doing The Flash. Wings is also on, which I love. Underrated show. Very funny show.
I know my dad liked Wings. I never really... I think I watched it a little bit. I don't know if I loved it, though.
It's very much... I mean, it's not as good as Cheers, but it's like, if you like Cheers, you like Night Court, Wings is pretty much same kind of humor. Friday night, final night of the week. What do you do?
Final night of the week. First and foremost, it just really hits me that I have no friends and I've just been sitting at home and watching TV all week. I have nothing to do.
That's what I did.
Hey, but it got us through. It gets us through this. And then before I get all bummed out, I'm like, wait a minute. It's Friday. TGIF, baby. Okay, we're in it. So
Thank goodness it's Friday because they couldn't say
you can't say
God.
God. Yeah. Again, I love Married with Children, so I'm getting in a little bit early. I'm getting my food ready. I'm eating popcorn or whatever during Married with Children. I'm going Family Matters. I'm going step by step. Also, this is a little bit the TGIF. I feel like I remember had like a lot of Boy Meets World, had a lot of Sabrina or whatever.
About 3 or 4 years later.
Yeah, so I'm getting in early on this. So we're going Family Matters at 8, step by step. 9 p.m. My phone finally rings. A friend, thank God, has called me, invited me over to their house, and to watch basketball. Okay, now you're not seeing this on the video. I'm doing air quotes. We're watching basketball. The ACC tournament is on. It's March. Okay, March Madness is gearing up. We're getting close. The Big East basketball tournament is on. We're watching that, quote unquote. But really, we're watching The Last Prostitute and we're watching Rock Video Girls too. They have all the channels. They have everything. So I'm allowed. So we're sneaking this in. And when everyone's like, hey, how's Georgetown doing or whatever, we're like, fine. And we're covering our
Boobs.
Nothing. Covering our crotches with pillows while we're watching all these terrible things.
So you passed up Baby Talk, which was the TV version of oh my God, the movie Look Who's Talking.
Oh,
and
shit.
My favorite thing is it went for 2 seasons, right?
Yeah.
So the first season it starred friend of the show Julia Duffy and George Clooney.
Incredible.
They were fired and they replaced, this is the only time this has ever happened, season 2, they replaced George Clooney with Scott Baio.
And their careers went very different directions ever since. That's incredible.
I also noticed, speaking of Beverly Hills 90210, the man who I called the bag was all over the place this week. Brian Austin Green, who I keep I'm like, if I knew him, I'd call him the bag. Everyone should call him the bag. He's guest starring on Totally Hidden Video, which is a prank show.
Yeah.
This is a teen surprises her friends with date Brian Austin Green. A supposedly dead head stuns an office temp. What? And also a nose job gone wrong.
Deadheaded. Yeah, what a prank. Your nose sucks.
It's gone.
Deadhead, is that just a reference to drugs, or is that a very specific like music thing?
I don't know if it was
like a Grateful Dead thing.
I don't know. It could literally be like a severed head. They're like, hey, watch this head. I don't know.
That's a fun prank.
Because then earlier in the week, which I meant to mention, on Tuesday, there's an after-school special on at 4 o'clock. Mm-hmm. And it's Sarah Gilbert from Roseanne in the bag, co-host a school break special that departs from their usual dramatic fare to present an entertaining how-to program on saving the Earth's natural resources. Kids offering cleanup tips include Crystal McKellar and Corin Nemec with Mark Paul Gosselaar.
Look, it's star-studded, but it's no Last Prostitute, okay?
No.
So fuck the environment. I'm trying
That's
to
a Lifetime movie, The Last Prostitute. Lifetime aired this thing all the friggin' time.
Good.
And it's let's see where it is. I forget. Scorch is on. We passed up Scorch.
Not Elf. Definitely not Elf.
It's not Alf. What's that show you're watching? It's not Alf. Where is The Last Prostitute? Phrase I've said too many times. I'm gonna look in the movie section. It'll tell me when it's on.
It was also just weird navigating, like you're used to it because you're doing this. I was like, I can't believe this is how we used to do stuff.
Oh yeah, it took forever and
Crazy.
It's complicated. It's very funny when I have guests significantly younger than us or who are from a different country. Like especially the UK, they're like, what the fuck is this?
Right.
Like they're so confused by it. Yeah, I don't see it on here, but Playboy's Rock Video Girls. That was always. I like how they had to make new reasons to just have naked people. They're like, no. These are ones that are in rock videos.
They couldn't just
now
be
I'm interested.
The Playboy Hour, whatever. You know what it is. It's Rock Video Girl.
We need to have it themed or else what's the point?
Oh, man. Yeah.
So that is the week, but as you know, TV Guide, it is not just informative, it has opinions. So I would like to read you, Ben, this week, the cheers and jeers to finish up here.
Let's do it.
This is always my favorite part of TV Guide because it's unsigned. So it always gets super bitchy and weird and is usually very jeer heavy. There's a lot of complaints. So let's see where we are at. This week, it's a split week. We got 2 cheers, 2 jeers. We start with a cheers. Cheers to VH1's Rock and Roll Cities, a travelogue with a twist, celebrating a city's sounds instead of its sights. The first stop is this Sunday's pilot is Austin, Texas, where host Tim Summer scours the land of Stetsons and Spurs, and there's so many S's in this, in search of the Lone Star State's indigenous sound. From dance halls and juke joints to back roads and backstage, Summer takes viewers on a magical history tour with insights provided along the way by some of the state's most famous native sons and daughters, including Willie Nelson, Kris Kristopherson, Lucinda Williams, Waylon Jennings, ZZ Top, and Michelle Schacht. It's enlightening, entertaining, and entirely enjoyable. In short, the whole enchilada. To borrow a line from one of Willie's songs, if this is any indication of things to come, we can't wait to get back on the road again.
First of all, you have a perfect voice. You have a perfect voice for reading this. This is awesome. Also, Kris Kristopherson in here, I thought was Woody Harrelson the entire time.
Beardless Kris Kristopherson does look like Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He's one of those guys that when you see him without a beard, you're like, oh, I get why you don't do that. It looks real weird. Like him with a beard, you're like, look at that, he's badass. And then without it, you're like, what's happening? Jeers to March on PBS. I love how they said this. It's just stated March on PBS. Boo. When public TV turns into the biggest pay-per-view outlet in the country, they call it fundraising. We call it excruciating. Every year at this time, the network proudly promotes its most enticing lineup of programs, only to pull a bait and switch on the hapless hopefuls who tune in. Over the next 2 weeks, viewers enthralled by specials starring Natalie Cole, Pavarotti, and frugal gourmet Jeff Smith will be appalled by relentless requests for donations. We know that individual contributions are PBS's largest source of income, but we're sick of this shtick. It's embarrassing, it's uncreative, and it's unworthy of what is otherwise a class operations. Bag the begathons.
Something tells me that one was written by Donald J. Trump.
Yeah. Like, I love how the guy who, it has to be a guy who wrote this one.
100%.
Clearly is like, I hate this. I'm not going to give you any alternate solutions. And I'm going to say, I understand why you need it.
Yeah. That's a crazy critique of what it is.
That is an old man complaining, like, insane. Cheers to a chance for everyone to be a TV critic. A new series called Producers Showcase Television, debuting this week in syndication called PSTV, is an interactive show that allows you to give a thumbs up or thumbs down to pilots for potential sitcoms, dramas, game shows, talk shows, etc. Viewers are invited to write or call with opinions and suggestions, and the information is made available to the pilot's producer so he can either refine his concept or scrap it altogether. Too bad Tequila and Bonetti was too late to qualify. I love in their cheer they're going to take a dig at Tequila and Bonetti.
Like, sometimes people just like, it's like, you're writing for TV Guide, right? Like, let's calm down a little bit here, everybody.
And also, you probably got paid $10,000 to write that in 1992.
Yeah.
You're making a good living being like, God damn you, Tequila and Bonetti.
Everybody relax here.
And then finally, jeers to the beastly ad hyping the video release of TNT's nature series Trials of Life. The series itself, produced and hosted by naturalist David Attenborough, is a 12-episode investigation of the animal kingdom's most amazing adaptations for survival, including communication, courtship, reproduction, and socialization. In the Time Life video and television spot, however, viewers are treated to footage from only one episode, the rather grisly Hunting and Escaping, in which there is a whole lot of hunting going on and very little escaping. Yes, it's a part of life in the wild, but to plug it in it alone strikes us as a bit sensational. After all, this isn't Faces of Death.
Whoa, Faces of Death is that old? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, Faces of Death was from 82. But also, TV Guide does a Faces of Death reference.
Yeah, right. That had the same energy of being like, that had the, before we were like, not, that had the same vibe of someone just being like, Right? Nah, whatever. Also, these people would be appalled.
It's like Faces Death.
The way they think that violence is so prevalent in 1992, boy, they would not last a single day in 2025. These guys would have such a hard time. Yesterday I saw a commercial in the middle of a sporting event for Battlefield, the video game, in which I counted minimum 15 people died. And someone had to get an adrenaline shot into their heart, and they killed Jimmy Butler in it. So the commercials are more violent than the cartoons and all the other stuff. And then that's not even counting actual real life. So I'm glad these people, I'm sure all the people who wrote this are dead now. And they're lucky for that.
And they were killed by nunchucks because kids watching Ninja Turtles.
Throwing stars.
Just roaming the streets.
Exploding Pepsi cans.
$100 bill just shot right in there. Just pushed the bone right into their brain. Faces of Death for decades was the #1 box office hit in Japan.
Oh, interesting. I was going to say we're a sick culture. We need help. But yeah, that actually makes sense in Japan. I feel like that's fine.
And the first one is all fake as well. It was all staged. But
I don't even know what it is. I just thought it was just like it's just videos of people like dying in accidents. That's what I assumed it is. But I've never seen it. I've never watched it. I just know like a little bit of reference.
It has its reputation precedes it. It was in a genre called Mondo movies. And so Mondo means world in Italian. And they would be these sort of fake travelogue documentaries. The first one was called Mondo Cane, which is dog. It was like, it's a dog's life. I don't know why, a dog world. I don't know why it's called that. But they would go to like foreign countries and be like, look how crazy it's cannibals, or like, all kinds of stuff like that. So Faces of Death it presented itself as a real documentary. And this guy was I'm a doctor and I'm trying to figure out about death. And then it was all these staged, although presented as real things of like accidents and people eating monkey brains and stuff. It's bad, but later series of it, like they had like multiple parts, they would just show like news footage of people getting killed.
Yeah, that's what I know of it. And I wanted to stay far away from that. I was like, get me back to Boy Meets World and all this other shit. I'm out of here. I can't do this.
Yep. Give me Topanga. I want to watch The Last Prostitute. Right. Is there any comfort shows you watch now? Like, do you guys have like a going to bed show?
Comfort shows I watch now. I've been trying to watch, I'm just like, I'm just straight up procrastinating. So I've been trying to like rewatch. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna change what I was gonna say. I have been watching like The Good Place or whatever, but the shows that are like in this era, I am going slowly back through a Married with Children rewatch to find a very specific reference I caught while flipping through channels, and it just reminded me that like, yes, I get it. Al Bundy's like a terrible guy and bad husband, bad father, whatever. Even though they love him, honestly, the early years, they all seem to love him. But like, it was so funny. The jokes are crazy how funny they are, how quick they are. And I really like, in trying to find this one line, have like fallen back in love with a show that I was not allowed to watch when I was
What's the line?
This is going to sound crazy out of context. It's, I don't, so basically this is going to sound so messed up.
This is the perfect place to do it.
It's pretty much like this. It's like, I think maybe like Jefferson or the neighbor before Jefferson came over is like, Al, your wife has ruined my driveway or my car or something. And he just goes, hit her, which is crazy. It's a crazy line where I was like, I need to see what he's like, you can get. He's not saying he does it. There's no actual violence on the show. That's
100% a Married with Children joke, though.
Yeah, and he's just going, no, you can hit her. It's just like, you can't say that. It just blew my mind that was what they were going to say. So I've been trying to find that specific. I stopped this journey a little while ago.
I'm sure a listener has probably emailed me the exact episode and time code for it if you'd like it.
because it just blew my mind because that's the kind of joke that is like, yes, it is wrong, it is inappropriate, but I'm like, you got that on network TV, and it's the kind of joke that it's the joke between two comedians who know they're not bad people, right? Yeah. Where they're like, oh, you can hit him. And you're like, what?
It's the intent and context where, for whatever reason, in that show, I have a strange love-hate with, because sometimes I call it poor face because that show is like as opposed to Roseanne, which is like the humor comes out of their struggle of like blue collarness. Like this is just like really laughing at these poor people who are cartoonish. Sure. But it also, for somehow they do manage to pull off a bunch of stuff that should seem much more hateful than it comes across. Yeah. I don't know how they manage that.
I mean, the writers of that show are they're just so smart. It's so good. The joke, straight up the joke. Also, and he's, exactly. And oh my God, what am I blanking on? I mean, all those people, literally everybody in the show is very good in the show. Well, sure. But he's good at what he needs to do in that show.
That's true. That's true.
What is, what's her name? The mother, Peggy, what's her?
Oh, Seagal.
Yeah, Katie Seagal. She's like seeing her career arc. Just watching her and knowing that she's still out there doing stuff is like awesome. I've been watching Sons of Anarchy as well, and I got to like maybe the second to last season or last season. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. It's so bad. But she is very good in that show, I would say. Yeah, and also awesome as Leela on Futurama. Absolutely incredible. Like, she's got range. I love her. She's awesome. 100%. Well, this has been great. Thank you so much for doing this. It's been great talking to you. I'll see you soon when we embark on our seltzer sponsored tour. That's right. That's right. We're raking in the dough. 50 states of seltzer tour coming to you. Coming to you a seltzer brewery, whatever. Natural flavors and no calories. If you're listening to this and you're all the way through this, you should check out my album. It's called Supple Harlot. I just released it a month ago. It's my debut stand-up album. I'm a stand-up comedian. You can come see me live. I tour all over the country. I'm based out of Minnesota. It's also free on YouTube if you want to check that out if you're a visual person, but it helps me the most if you get the album. And I also have a podcast called Troll Hole, in which my friend Mike Lester and I, who's another comedian, have other comedians and entertainers on, and we talk about life in the public eye, and we go through our comment sections, and we talk about the weird things that people say to us in public. So if you like me, you should check all that out. What's the best place to get the record? Best place to get it on the Blonde Medicine website. You can just go through there, and they have all the links to all your favorite things that you could possibly want it on. So friends of the show, Blonde Medicine. Love them. Yeah. Yep. Did you work with Jessica? Yeah. And Dom. Yeah. Jessica's an old friend. Hell yeah. One of the best in the biz. Yeah, absolutely. Here, that's been done a ton of cool stuff, latest of which is Supple Harlot, the special and album on Blonde Medicine. As I said, awesome dude. Really loved talking to him. I think he was opening for a classic friend of the show and very first guest, not released-wise, but recording-wise, Josh Gondelman recently in Minneapolis. Recently, I mean probably a month ago. I don't know what time it is anymore. Anyway, one more week, and then we'll have the year in review, I think. I'll have to double check. So send those questions in if you have them. Also, fast forwarding to February, we'll be doing 2016 year in review. So send in questions about 2016 if you like. I have some fun stuff planned that hopefully pans out for 2026, but again, we can discuss it in the 2025 year in review. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing all right. And, do want to mention, I loved chatting to you guys who came out to the shows with Todd Barry in Portsmouth last week and in Springfield at the casino. I didn't win big. But also always great to chat to you guys. I love it when you come out to the shows and then you say hello. It's very nice. Anyway, I'll be here next week, so I hope you will too for a brand new edition of TV Guidance Counselor. Sounds made up, but I love it.